Hiya. So, woken up, feeling crappy as per usual. It's time to put the Armour on, but I don't have time to do a big makeup ritual, so I'm going to show you how quickly you can put on a face that looks like you put a lot of effort in, and don't know about you, makes me feel like I'm ready for action, even if I'm not really. So I'm starting off with a bit of skin prep. So just a little bit of toner, nothing fancy, a little bit of moisturiser. Just gotta get a bit of a clear canvas. It's really as quick and simple as that. Got a little moisturiser. It's still one that I got in my Cult Beauty advent calendar last year. If you've never invested in one, then I recommend it because it's nearly time for the next one and I'm just getting to the end of the products from last year's one. Now, I'm an absolute Charlotte Tilbury addict, and for these low maintenance, low effort days, I go for this. It's the Charlotte Tilbury Unreal Skin Sheer Glow Tint. It's literally just in a stick. You wind it up, you paint it on. It does say on Charlotte's sort of website and guidance that you can just rub this in with your hands, but I don't like to do that. So I just take a brush, kind of brush that I just use for any sort of base. So if it's a full foundation day, I'll use the same brush. Just get it all even. Literally takes a few seconds and that's the start of your base done. Now, if you're as tired as me, we've got bags under our eyes. So it's good old Charlotte again. It's the Beautiful Skin Radiant Concealer, and I don't mess about with it. I just dab a bit under the eyes, rub it in. And I'd go a shade lighter than I have the rest of the base because it just brightens up that area there. Now, this is an optional step, I suppose, but I go for the Hollywood contour wand. Just a few dabs on that cheek line, a little bit of a hairline. You can do sort of down your nose if you want a bit more of a contrast. And if I was doing full makeup, I'd probably spend a bit more time on that step, but we don't have time for that today. Next, Glowgasm Cheeky, Charlotte Tilbury again. Just a really quick way to get some colour in your cheeks, and goodness knows I need colour in my cheeks. So just use a little buffing brush and that's the base done. Next, I'm moving on to eyes. Now, I do have a drawer full of different eyeshadow palettes, but I absolutely swear by a palette like this. So this is Charlotte Tilbury again, surprise surprise. There are a few different ones. I've got a digital lilac one, there's like a natural shades one, but I really do like pink. So this palette gives me options. I can go for a softer pink, I can go for glitter, because you know glitter lifts us up. I'm going to go for this sort of cream base, do a bit of contouring shading with these two colours, and then probably a bit of glitter as the last thing. As simple as just get your finger into the eyeshadow, quick sweep over the eyelid, do the other one, quick sweep over the eyelid, and then going in with a brush, just a small eyeshadow brush. All these brushes are Real Techniques, by the way. I like having my makeup done professionally, and it it's a professional makeup artist that told me real techniques are the brushes to go for, so I took her advice. So I'm just putting this slightly darker shade sort of in that, I don't know what the technical term for it is, I think it's in the crease. Just gives you a bit of contour, as you can see, a bit of contrast, and then a slightly darker shade just on these outer corner to give it all a bit of definition. Kind of gives you, it's not a full-on smoky eye look because we don't have time for that, but it does give you a little bit of a that kind of effect. I've got now like a fluffier brush, like a blending brush. Oh, dropped it. So I'm just going to soften all of those lines up, blend it in so it makes it look like I've spent ages doing a really nice smoky eye. Blend that in, and then for the last touch I'm going to go for glitter again, just with my finger. Put your finger in, sweep it across the lid, your finger again and sweep it across, and that's eyeshadow done. So now I've moved on to eyeliner. Now I tend to use a brown eyeliner because black can be quite harsh. I like black if it's a night out and I'm doing a full-on glam makeup, but for sort of daytime work makeup, brown is really nice. It's a classic eyeliner, again, good old Charlotte. Now mascara, this is the place where I abandon Charlotte. I have tried all the Charlotte Tilbury mascaras, and whilst they're good and whilst they give me volume, one gives you volume, one gives you length, I've not found one that gives me all of that. Maybe I'm using them wrong, I don't know. But after much research, Maybelline is the winner. So we start with this Maybelline Sky High Lash Primer. Now, if I was going out or doing I've got more time to do my makeup, I would use a lash curler first. But this is quick, so we're not. So we're just going to go in with the primer. Do a quick coating. I don't bother doing my bottom lashes with the primer. Quick going over. And then in with the Maybelline Sky High Black. I think it's, might be called Cosmic Black or something like that, but black anyway. I don't tend to use waterproof mascara just because I find it a bit of a pain to get off at the end of the day. But whichever you prefer works. A little bit on the bottom lashes. Other eye. And there's our eyes. Done. Moving on to eyebrows. So this is, ignore the state of this as well, it's really old because you can get refills for this end. So this brush has seen better days, but it's Charlotte Tilbury again. I think it's the Brow Lift. Yeah, Brow Lift, and I've got this in a medium brown. So again, if it was full makeup, if I was going out somewhere, if it wasn't a rush in the morning, I would brush my brows and put a brow gel on sort of as soon as I've done my base to give that gel time to dry, set, you know what I mean. But I've not got time for that today, so literally a quick brush, a quick fill in of the gaps. My eyebrows actually need waxing, so it's going to be a bit messy whatever I do. But that, we're almost done. We are almost done. I'm just going to put, I've already put pink on my cheeks, so I don't want an extreme blusher. So the brush that I always use for my blusher, still got a bit of pink on. I just kind of give it a bit of a, one of those. So as you can see, it's tiny bit more pink, but it's not overdone the whole thing. And then oh, and the blusher that when I do use it is no prizes for guessing, a Charlotte Tilbury one, and I use Love Is the Drug. I really like a pink coloured blusher. I know some people prefer sort of a peachy one or even a brownie one, but I really like a pink one. And then finishing touch on the skin, because you know we all like a bit of a glow, whatever makes you feel good, gets you through the day, is Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Glow, I think it's called, Hollywood Glow and Glide, and this is the Champagne Glow shade. And then the last thing for me to do is lips. So I'm going to go just for classic Pillow Talk liner. And I'm going to wear a classic Pillow Talk lipstick, but I've actually left it downstairs, so I'll add that when I go down there. So last finishing touch, airbrush setting spray, a little spritz, 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 and there's my makeup for the day done. Now, I don't like a Hollywood movie star, but I look a lot better than I did before I spent 5-10 minutes putting this on. I'm just going to brush my hair, put a headband in because it hides a multitude of sins, get dressed, and I'm ready, at least in appearances, to take on the day. Thank you for watching. Well, I already said thanks for watching, so please just ignore that. But I thought I'd give you the finished look. Specs on, headband in, a necklace because it makes me feel put together. And I've got a super soft Phase 8 jumper on. Keeps me warm and it doesn't hurt my skin because, you know, fibromyalgia, things can hurt your skin, just clothes. And you don't need to see them, but I've got super comfortable elasticated waist trousers on, basically sweatpants, but they're black, so it looks like they're still work vibes. So this is me, ready to go to work. Have a really good day.